Hi, it's me again, and this time we're looking at Olive Senior's Bird Shooting Season, which is one of my absolute favorite poems on the syllabus. And of course, I'm giving you three quotes to memorize because you don't have to know the entire poem to do well on these exams, right? So, this is the renowned poet and author Olive Senior, Jamaican poet, who is highly celebrated, extremely prolific. And this poem tells us, just this gives us one reason why we love Olive Senior so much, and she is quite the treasure. What do I love about the poem? Well, I love that this poem is told by an extremely observant and keen persona. The voice in this poem is clearly a child. This child observes everything. The child observes that this bird shooting is a season. The child observes that the house that the family lives in becomes macho over time, but just for a little while, just for a short duration, like mango season, rainy season, dry season. We have lots of seasons in the Caribbean, and this child observes that this bird shooting season is only temporary. But during that temporary time, that temporary period, the men make marriages with their guns, and the mothers become contentless. And I love that about this poem. So, the three quotes that I'm going to share with you, as usual, are multi-purpose, multi-use. You can use them for at least one or two devices and poetry techniques. So let's go. My first favorite is Men Make Marriages with Their Guns. Love. I love the way it rolls off the tongue. I love what it describes. And the use of the language is so economical, because you get the imagery of these men so devoted and so committed, so connected to their hobby of bird shooting, that they are married to their guns. And this is helping us understand why the women are contentless, because the men out there loving up on these guns instead of doing family oriented activities. They're connecting. It's time for the bros, right? It's time for the boys. So there's personification and there's also visual imagery in here that I quite love. Second quote I love a lot in this poem is, my father's house turns macho as from father hunters gather. And I'm certain that you can appreciate the house turning macho as a personification of the house, but also the hunters gathering is something that I've always told my students is an allusion to a time where human beings were said to be hunter gatherers, where we connected with the earth and we fed our families and we took care of each other by going into the men would go into hunting mode, and the women would stay behind to gather fruit, vegetables, raw textiles, seeds, etc. This is before we became a little bit more domesticated, or rooted in specific locations. We were more nomadic. This is what one theory says. And so there's both allusion and personification in this quote. And my final favorite, my third favorite to recommend to you is little boys longing to grow up bird hunters, two little girls whispering, fly birds, fly. And the reason I love this one is because we see that these children can project their longing or their belonging, depending on the parent that they're looking at and depending on their own gender. So the boys are looking at their fathers and saying, yeah, I want to grow up to be just like him. And the girls are looking at their moms and they're saying, the way that I'm seeing mommy having to be contentless during this bird shooting season, I don't want that for me. I don't want that. So these are three quotations that I love from Bird Shooting Season by Olive Senior. I hope you found this helpful. Remember, you don't have to know everything about every single poem. You just have to know at least three or four good quotes and analyze them accurately, and you're set. Take care. I'm Maria and I teach English. Bye for now.